Smiling faces, sometimes they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got proof. Oh, I did it. Yay. You gotta, once you get older, you start to appreciate the older songs of your mother's and even your grandparents' times. Classics. Anyway, this is T Hoodie in Japan, back here to give you another video. If you didn't find my singing to your liking, I apologize. I would have liked to actually play the song for you guys, but in whatever blessing I ever get monetized, I don't want to have to deal with copyright issues and getting a strike, or whoever owns the song take a percentage of my money and so on and so forth. So I'm sorry you had to deal with my voice. But why did I sing this song? This is going to my next topic for today. This basically is going to branch from what I talked about, the hype of Japan, and things are not as it seems, and things that you notice as you live longer or reside longer in Japan. And we're talking about let's see, I'm trying to put this as lightly as possible and not trying to be too harsh as much as I want to be. So we're going to be talking about Japanese and politeness and kindness and friendliness and all those that a lot of people attach to Japan. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, for those who don't know the song I was singing, I believe the song was called Smiling Faces, but the song is about people, obviously, who smile in your face, but they truly don't have good intentions. They're snakes. They'll put you under the bus, set you up, try to get any information as possible, so they could be at an advantage. Or maybe they're just really jealous and they're really trying to, take away from you. And I don't want to say all that applies to my topic about Japan and kindness, but there's a big factor at play when we're talking about Japanese. So let's go by what are the things that you often hear about Japan. I left my stuff on the table and wow, no one ever took it. Oh wow, I dropped my wallet and someone came to me and picked it up for me. In my country, it would have 100% been stolen. This is not actually true. I've had plenty of situations in my own country, America, where I dropped something that's valuable and someone picked it up. Granted, you're more likely going to get your stuff stolen taken if you drop it or something in America. But let's not pretend that there's no kind people in America. There definitely is. But anyway, things like that. I asked this Japanese person for directions, and he went out of his way to guide me where it was. Japanese is so kind. They speak so politely. Whatever else you want to say, that continues this narrative that Japan is this perfect country. So the way I'm speaking, you could kind of already know where I'm going about this. But so let's talk about this first. And I'm pretty sure those who've had, heard, some basic stuff about Japan in recent years have heard of this phrase, which is Hone and Tatemae. For those who don't know, you're probably wondering, what is that? I don't speak Japanese. Don't worry, I got you. So basically, Hone is gonna be your true feelings. It's gonna be how you truly feel about something, the things that you really want to do, the things that you really aspire to do, your real feelings, the things, so on and so forth. It's your true self. And then you have Tatemae. And think of that as the surface stuff. What do I mean by that? Well, let's think. In English terms, you say, deep down, this is how I feel. But from the surface, is that how you feel? I mean, is that how you express yourself? Maybe, maybe not. So when we talk about Tatemae, and Tatemae comes from one, like, I don't want to say build or standing or surface. And then also Maya is before or front. And Tatemae is basically how you display yourself. How you want to give your impression upon people. Now, in countries like America and other countries, more than often, your Hone, which is how you truly feel, and your Tatemae are more often aligned with each other. Depending on the situation, of course, but it's aligned a lot more times than it would be in Japan. There's a reason why they say Hone and Tatemae, and that's because to Japanese it's like water and oil. They're not supposed to align. They're not supposed to go together. So what often happens is the person who you're asking for directions, they're like, oh, okay, I'll help you. No, it's okay. Let's see. Let's try to get you there. But inside, they're probably like, this annoying foreigner. I'm trying to get to my job so I don't get in trouble, but I have to display myself as this very kind person so I don't start no confrontation and I don't leave a bad impression. Oh man, I wish these foreigners, these tourists wasn't here, man. They're always slowing me down. And that's how they might feel, but they won't show it to you. And it doesn't apply just to foreigners. That's Japanese lifestyle. That's how they live. And like I said, I'm trying to break it down for you, but honestly, in my American feeling, I feel it's the difference between being real, the Hone, and being fake. And because the Tatemae and Hone are not really supposed to be aligned in Japanese culture, that's how I feel about it. It's like, this is how I really feel, but instead I try to be fake. And like I said, we all do that from time to time. But in Japan, that's your lifestyle. Sure, with it maybe family or very close friends, you show your true self. But everywhere else, strangers, your boss, whoever else that you don't really know, you always gonna show that tatemae, that impression that you're this high quality person. Not even high quality person, that you're this perfect person who's nice and kind and so on and so forth. And you're gonna get that as you live in Japan. You're gonna start to notice it. I said this in my previous video. One of the first times I start to understand how different the Honen and Tatemae is the trains inside the trains, especially during rush hour. For a country that, you know, there's really no touching and handshaking or hugging. Everybody is about their space. Have masks on and so on and so forth. When you're in a train station, like, it's a whole different story. Especially during rush hour. You got people rushing to take the seats. Over elderly and pregnant and disabled people. During rush hour, you have people leaning on you because they're too busy playing with their phone and they don't want to use one hand to hold the a rail or anything else to stabilize themselves. Shoot. Let's talk about we're gonna talk about the Chikans, which is basically the SAing in public trains. And it's not only public trains. It could happen in almost any public area, but a lot of times, most of the time, it happens in the trains. I've heard situations where it's also happened in public, just walking out in public, clubs and bars and stuff like that. Yeah. And then you got people who don't do anything about it. They see it and don't do anything about it. And that's another thing. Like, sure, they're gonna help you when you drop your wallet or if you lost or something, because, you know, they don't really put them in any particular dangerous situation or anything that could ruin their reputation. But when it comes to someone's getting harmed or essayed, or even if a person is passed out on a train platform or in a train, they're not going to help you. Most of the time, they're not going to help you. I've seen it so many times. You see this guy passed out on the train, and they'll just walk right over him or walk around him. Like, they don't care. They don't care how that person's doing. And I guess it's kind of like a peer pressure thing, because maybe some people do want to help, but everybody else is just ignoring the person. So, you know, I might as well do it too. Sorry, guy who's passed out on the floor. Sorry. And I kind of understand to a bit, because that's how I sometimes feel when I see. I probably have done it before, like seen someone on the floor and no one helped, and I'm like, well, no one else doing this, so maybe I should be hands off too. So, and you know, that happens. Not too long ago, I literally seen a guy like laying on the ground. I think it was an old guy, and he was maybe was an old guy or a salary guy, middle aged. I don't remember. I think he was kind of elderly, and I don't know if he fell on his head or whatever, but he was on the ground and his head was basically leaking. He had a pool of blood. No one helped him. They had to wait to the train train service people came and tried to help him. Well, I don't even know if they touched him, but they got an ambulance, and then the ambulance, came and picked him up. But before that, no one did anything. No one checked to see if he was okay or anything. So yeah, you're gonna get that kind of thing. Like, it's like in different ways that you can't imagine. Like, there's some things that us as Americans take for granted. The kindness in our countries that you take for granted, and then you just notice is that it's missing in Japan. The kindness and considerations, the basic manners, like to know that you I don't care how crowded the trains is, you can't just lean on me any type of way. Hold on to a rail. I don't want you leaning on me. Like, why are you, like, y'all don't like to touch, y'all don't like to shake hands, hug, any of that stuff. But for now, it's okay to lean on me? Because you don't want to hold a rail? Like, what kind of nonsense is that? Like, I just don't understand it. But, it is what it is. And I want to say it's not always 100% that way. There are some Japanese that's generally kind. Oh my God. Genuinely kind. And there's those that's like genuine assholes. Just straight genuine assholes. And a lot of them tend to be salarymen. I don't know why. A lot of time they tend to be salarymen. Middle-aged salarymen. I don't know what's going on with the middle-aged salarymen. But, I mean, I guess it's the stress from their jobs. But, yeah. Oh, and then old people. Once they get a certain age, they don't give a damn at all. They just act how they want to. They like, I got seniority. Listen, I'm just gonna do what I want. They just don't care. They'll talk loudly on the trains. Get in your way, hog both sides of the stairs so you can't pass through. Yeah, they just don't care. But I feel you. I respect it. I mean, you live all your life here in this stressful country. Hey, man, I can respect it. I don't have nothing to say against that. So yeah, man, I just don't. It's just so much stuff to go by, and there's more stuff I want to say, but it's like I want to kind of save it for other topics, because as I start continuing videos, like, this kind of thing is gonna pop up again and again and again and again and again, because that's just the way Japan is. Like, Japan is all about, that's another thing, because so I don't know, I forgot what interview I saw, YouTube interview thing I saw, but shout out to that interviewee that perfectly articulated what I was feeling. And he basically says that Japanese are superficially kind, and that's exactly what it is. The kindness, the way they show they show themselves to the public is all superficial. Once they're not in the public, a lot of them act a totally different way. And from what I recently come to learn is that it don't necessarily have to be just with a relationship with your, they say friends, I'm going to say associates, or your work relationship, or any other relationship that you come in and out of on a maybe daily basis, but it's not what you go home to. But a lot of things that's superficial in Japan is also at the home. There's a lot of things that go in the home. Some stories which is horrifying. But when it goes out to the public, or the police, their neighbors, whoever else, they don't want to be seen in a bad light. So they'll create a farce and pretend like they have the perfect family. They never fought. They're always happy. And, you know, nothing could go wrong with their family. But once the spotlight is gone, then it's back to usual. And I don't want to go too much details in it, because it got kind of definitely goes into another topic that I definitely want to talk about. I'm very adamant about speaking about. So I'm just gonna hold on for that part. So yeah, in Japan, superficial is the name of the game. Superficial is the tatemae. And the hone, the stuff deep down, how you feeling? Most people aren't supposed to see that. So, I think I'm going to end it right there. For those who made it to the end, thank you for listening. Please, if you're subscribed, please be prepared to, hear some topics kind of related to this and other things I've said in the past. So, be prepared for that. And hopefully you enjoy this. And hope you enjoy my future content. If you don't, I think I'm continuously improving, and hopefully I'll make it up to your standards. If not, it is what it is. This is T Hoodie in Japan. Out. Peace.